You know what's frustrating? Pouring your heart into a course that barely sells while watching others make 6, 7 figures with their courses with seeming ease. Today, I'm going to take you behind the scenes of what's really going on. And the good news is, it's not luck or some hidden advantage that only they have. These are skills that you can absolutely learn. But first, we've got to clear up something super important. The point of a course isn't to make passive income, although that's absolutely one amazing result of having a successful course business. The real point is what people get when they buy from you, a transformation. This is the key, and it does not need to be any more complicated than that. But what trips up so many first-time course creators is getting stuck in how they're going to deliver that transformation versus the transformation itself. There's a super popular unwisdom in the course creation world that you need high production video quality and super fancy tech to create a successful course. But that could not be more wrong. Let me tell you about my first course. I delivered it in a private Facebook group, no fancy course website, no fancy PDFs either, I just used Google Docs, and I recorded the lessons via audio using my iPhone. These days, my courses are a little fancier. I do host them in a custom app, but I still use just slides and audio. And here's why. Because the best course is not the prettiest, it's the one that actually delivers. Now, I have a lot of respect for course creators who invest in high quality studios and fancy video production. And these aren't mutually exclusive, but there are two things that I and my ideal clients value way more. One, getting results, and ideally as quickly as possible. And two, learning what they need in a way that helps them do that. Which brings us to our first $1 million course creator skill, teaching. Not just dumping what you know into some slides or video or audio, but actual teaching. Because there is a huge difference between just sharing information and actually being able to share it in a way that helps someone understand and be able to use that information. That means knowing how to do 3 things. 1, break down the concepts that your students need to know into the simplest explanation and execution. 2, the common sticking points where your students tend to get stuck and what they need to hear to help them overcome it. And 3, those aha moments where a new concept or shift truly lands. Think about something that you're really good at now, but that felt super confusing the first time someone tried to explain it to you. For me, it's always been physics. I just could not get it, which is not great, especially when you're trying to get your bachelor's in engineering. Thankfully, in college, I met this tutor who made everything feel so simple. He met me where I was, explained everything in a way that I felt like I could actually understand, and helped me feel like I could actually do physics. Now, he wasn't a miracle worker, so I didn't end up acing physics, but I passed. And that's the kind of teaching that your students need from you as well. I will never forget the time that a student told me, "Luisa, before your course, I just thought I was not smart enough to run a business. But I have never seen someone explain so much so clearly in just 5 minutes. Now I realize I just needed to understand it and hear it in a way that worked for me." Honestly, it takes a lot of time and effort to do this well. But in my opinion, it's worth it, and it's far more valuable than investing in a fancier course setup. Because more so than almost any other skill, once you master the ability to teach to results, awesome things start happening. Your course completion rates go up. You get more and better testimonials. And most importantly, your students get the results that they bought your course for. And guess what? Nothing helps your next course sale like a successful result from your last one. So high five to creating a truly quality product that allows you to help others and make more sales. But now you might be wondering, "Luisa, how do I actually get those sales in the first place?" This is where our second $1 million skill comes in. And it's so important whether you're just starting and wanting to launch your very first course or ready to scale to 7 figures in course sales. Most likely, when you're starting out, you're selling through high-touch methods like live streams or sales calls. That's exactly how I first got my course business off the ground. I would do these big, almost 7-figure live launches where people could see my personality and feel my energy on the live streams. So they worked really well. But as you can probably imagine, this is incredibly draining for us introverts. Plus, you are eventually going to get to a point where you don't want to have to be that involved to make every single sale. It is absolutely possible, but it is not easy. When I first transitioned to trying to sell via just email, I couldn't even make $2,000. And to be clear, this was after my 7-figure live launches. So let me tell you, I got humbled real fast. Obviously, there was a huge disconnect. And it all comes down to this challenge. How do you sell without you being there in real time? The solution? Skill number 2, copywriting, specifically for sales conversions. Now, I feel like people make copywriting feel way more complicated than it needs to be. So let me define it for you in the extremely simple way that I think about it. It's just writing for your business. That's it. There are so many different ways that you can deliver that writing, like via email, social media, direct mail, but at its core, it's just the words that sell for you when you're not doing the selling yourself. If you are just now starting to learn this skill, here's what I recommend, because it's exactly what I did. First, either hire a professional copywriter or invest in a course or book to learn the fundamentals. Then study good copy. Read proven ads or classics like Robert Collier's letter book. This will help you quickly start to think like a copywriter. And you'll see it's like developing a whole new lens to see the world through. After that, and you cannot skip this part, you've got to put it into practice. Copywriting is like driving a car. You can read about it all day long, but it's not until you actually get behind the wheel that things are really gonna click. And here's how you'll turn this skill into lots of sales. As you're driving with your new copy, you're also going to learn on the go with lots of feedback from your actual audience, because their thoughts are the only ones that matter, because they're the ones that you are selling to. Plus, each time you make a sale, don't just celebrate it, although absolutely do that too, but also ask yourself and analyze, why did this piece do so well, and how can I do more of it? Every time you do this, you are building your copywriting muscles. And the more you use those muscles, the stronger they'll get. Until one day you wake up and realize, whoa, I just made a sale while I was sleeping because my words did the selling for me. But here's where a lot of course creators get stuck. They master teaching, they develop decent copywriting skills, but for some reason, they still can't seem to make the sales that they want. That's because there's one more crucial skill that we need to talk about. Because the key to creating your dream course revenue isn't just about learning to teach well or developing strong copywriting skills. It's also about building a business that's sustainable for you. And that's why courses have such huge potential for anyone who wants to give incredible value and increase your revenue while also freeing up your own time and energy. It's all about product-creator separation. Honestly, this was one of the hardest skills for me to learn, and it probably won't come naturally to you either, especially if you're used to pouring your heart into everything that you do. But if you don't learn the skill, you are not going to make a ton of sales, and you'll also probably burn out as well. Think about it this way. When you first start your business, no matter what you're selling, it's really all about you, your expertise, your time, your direct support. But to reach 6 and 7 figures, you need to create clear boundaries between you and your product. It took me a long time to learn this. When I launched my first course, I was checking DMs all the time, reading comments, and basically being on call 24/7, because I thought that's what my students needed to succeed. But honestly, I was burning out, and my students weren't getting that much better of results anyways. That's how I realized your job as a course creator is not to be there for your students 24/7. It's to create a course so well structured that your students can succeed even when you're not there. This is the crux of product creator separation, and it boils down to 2 pieces. First, You need to design your course to function without you. This means creating systems like FAQ sections that address common questions, very clear step-by-step lessons that students can easily follow, and if applicable, forums or program coaches to support your students without needing your presence. Second, and this is just as important, if not more so, you need to set clear expectations before the sale about what your course does and doesn't include. Your marketing and sales should make it clear how much students will have access to you, if any, what support resources they will have, again, if any, and exactly how self-led students need to be to succeed with your course. I've seen so many course creators get this wrong. They either over-deliver until they burn out, or they don't set clear expectations and end up with really unhappy clients who don't get results and then want a refund. I have made all of these mistakes, so absolutely no judgment. But these mistakes will keep you from making the sales that you want. On the flip side though, once you master product creator separation, not only will you enjoy your business more and be able to make more sales, but your students will also get better results. Your students will develop self-reliance and implement faster because they're not waiting on you every time to solve the problem for them. That's the magic formula for a truly scalable course business, one that can grow to 6, even 7 figures while giving you the income and freedom that you most likely started this journey for. The key is to not give up before you master these skills. That's why in my very next video, I show you exactly what you need and don't need to start making course sales ASAP. Let's get your course business going, so I will see you over there.